What do other people really want from you? Do you ever think about that? What do they really want? Is it time? A discount? Better customer service? And what's the one thing you could give them they couldn't say no to? What people really want is they want to be taken to the next level. That's what we all really want. And when you take other people to the next level, you become invaluable to them. That's what I'm here to talk to you about this morning. How to be invaluable. Because that's what's going to take you to the next level too. When I was 21 years old, I met Tom, the man that turned my life around. Decades later, I called Tom and I asked him what I did that made me different. What did I do that allowed me to play in the NBA for 12 years? And what he told me had an explosive impact on my life. Today, as an expert in team building, I teach the things that he shared with me that day. The things that I did that made me invaluable to my team. It's my intention that you talk about today, March 13th, as a day that I became your coach. Because on this day, you discovered 4 secrets that completely turned your career and your organization around. This morning, I intend to become that coach for you. And it's not just my intention, it's my expectation, nothing less. It's April 1977. I'm 21 years old. A man walks into the tire store where I'm working as an auto mechanic. And he asks me the one question I hate. Do you play basketball? Basketball was the one thing I decided I would never do again. Now, most of you probably believe that if you're tall, you can be great at basketball. Well, in high school, the coach only put me in a game one time. And 3 seconds after I got on the court, the game ended. I was that bad. In fact, here's the only action shot I could find from my high school career. Sad, isn't it? As a senior in high school, the small guys on my team were a lot faster than I was. I couldn't keep up. Now, if you're tall, there are some things you can be good at on the basketball court. But unfortunately, I didn't know what they were. And neither did my coach. I hated basketball, and I wanted to forget about it. But you see, that was impossible. A day didn't go by without absolute strangers asking me, "Do you play basketball?" Now, I just wanted to be like everyone else. But kids, they called me a freak. They called me Lurch. They tried to beat me up. I was like some kind of a tree they wanted to topple. I didn't go to supermarkets because people stalked me in every aisle. The pointing and the staring and the comments kept me out of shopping malls. I avoided people. But it wasn't just people I was avoiding. I was running away from failure. I had failed at the one thing everyone believed I could do. So after high school, I said goodbye to basketball, and I became an auto mechanic. But that question still remained. So this man is standing here in my tire store asking me the question I didn't want to answer. This morning, you'll understand why. You'll hear the story of how I went from a 21-year-old auto mechanic who couldn't play basketball to an NBA All-Star, who played with the Utah Jazz for 12 seasons when the average is 3. And you'll understand why I was never traded and why, when I retired, I received the honor that my jersey number 53 will never be worn by another player again. When I called my coach, Tom, and I asked him what made me a great team player, he said, Mark, you did 4 things. Today I'm going to tell you what he told me. There are 4 of the most powerful principles you may ever hear. They're the 4 things that took me from someone with no talent or passion for the game of basketball to the top of the biggest game out there. And they're the same things that took our team, the Utah Jazz, to the top of the charts. Today, I'm going to teach you how to get that kind of teamwork, the kind that creates champions. In the world of professional sports, if you don't have teamwork, you're out of the game. It's not a luxury, it's what you do. Let me ask you a question. Have you ever worked in an organization where there was a lot of infighting, politics, backstabbing? How did that impact your productivity, your profitability? What would it be like if you went back to work on Monday and there was no internal competition? None. Can you even imagine that? That's what it's like when you walk out on the court and you're playing with a world-class NBA basketball team. It is possible. That's what we're here to achieve today. If you want to win today and outperform the external competition, you need teamwork. You need to end the internal competition. On a sports team where everyone is playing for themselves, that spells failure immediately. In business, it's just a matter of time before the same thing happens. Without teamwork, people don't truly collaborate or cooperate. There's a lot of confusion about how to create teamwork. Sports teams are not confused. We know what we have to do. And when you walk out of here this morning, you're going to know what you have to do too. Because that's what I teach, what I learned in my 12 years in the NBA.